What is going on, Game Fiends, and welcome back to the channel to another Grand Master Nightfall, this one taking place in the Cosmodrome. Again, I am using Gifted Conviction just with a little rework on a mod and a couple of different weapons to make it a little bit easier because we know where the cheese is on this area, but I'm gonna try very hard not to do it, even though the enemies just hit extremely hard no matter what mods you have on your chess piece, right? First, shout out to Delta Dragonfly and Rises 97, but specifically Delta Dragonfly, who, when he saw me doing what I needed to do in certain areas, he joined me instead of me being alone in the room, especially mid-game where we get into that very small area where we're fighting barriers, we're fighting unstops, we're fighting witches, we're fighting knights, we're fighting everyone. I decided to stay in that room. They saw I was handling my own, and Dragonfly decided to join me, and it just makes it easier, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit of confidence and takes a little bit of, I guess, cojones to motivate others and let them see that you don't have to stay by the door like everyone else does, and you can go in there and compete with all the enemies. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later on when we get to that section of the area. Weapons of choice: hung jury with kinetic tremors, shoot to loot, one of my favorite weapons in my vault. Secondly, I have a grenade launcher vs velocity baton with attrition orbs and demolitionist. Exotic of choice in the heavy slot: Salvation's grip. No catalyst yet on Salvation's grip, almost there. Here's a quick look at my Prismatic Hunter Gifted Conviction build. Like I said, very similar to what I used on the previous GM. I did change one of the fragments out because I knew I was going to be very aggressive in that small room, and that's why I decided to see if this would benefit me a little bit more. That fragment is Facet of Balance, which replaced my Facet of Dominant. I wanted to see if I can up my ability charges a lot faster for that spicy room we're gonna get into. Also note that this is my first attempt with this build, so I didn't do like a quick run. I just went in and decided to just go ahead and see if it would work out, and it did. So as you're seeing in the gameplay, I'm being very aggressive, and so are the other two guys on my team. This is what I'm talking about. You build that confidence, you just go in, you see someone creating havoc, holding their own, and why not join in instead of staying in the back and trying to eliminate everyone from a distance. Also, you know, relying on the Hunter Void build, right? The invisibility to move this rig, which I used to do back in the day. Now I don't, because I don't want to be that guy. However, you do whatever works for you, whatever makes it easier. I'm just showing you that with 3 people, you can make this a lot easier if people just join in on the action and not get scared and stay in the back and, you know, pay attention to what's going on around you, because that's the most important thing, right? Which these guys did an amazing job of trying to clear out everything around my areas, especially with the snipers. If you notice, the snipers were gone real quick in that very first section. With all that said, not everything is chocolate and strawberries. You're about to see my first death here because I try to set up for the unstop stun, and yeah, it didn't work out for me, man. See, what happened there is I tried to get greedy for a second shot, jumped up, and of course you saw what happened. And usually in an instance like this, when someone perishes, the other 2 guys would normally run back, but you see Dragonfly and Rises holding their own, and they're staying right there, stunning the champions, getting rid of them. I go in and try to, you know, set up for another stun because I didn't realize he had almost no energy, but yeah, still for safety and precaution, right? So now we're gonna do the witch, we're gonna do the unstop, I believe, and then another barrier. Go in, froze him. And this is why I wanted to carry Salvation's grip, since I wasn't carrying a linear to stun unstops. Just makes it easier, and also it's just a great ad clearer for small sections similar to this, and also for the buff so I can get my invis going on.
disarmed is more shameful than being killed in battle.
All right, this is where usually people stay in this section, and I said, nah, I'm going in. You see, I'm gonna go do this here, right? Get my abilities going, start spamming everything. Probably Hung Jury, worst choice of weapon to have in such a small section, but it is what it is. That's why you see me just spam the hell out of my grenade launcher and my abilities. And you see right next to me, Delta is joining in on the fun. And this is what I'm talking about, right? You see someone coming in here just spamming, destroying everything. Why not join in? Why not try to make it easier, not only for myself, but just for the team in general? So I'm gonna let you watch this clip alone just so you can see all the madness, and I'll be back in a few. Hold on, I'm back. Check this out. Where did my damage go on my golden gun? Where did it go? There's no way. There's no way. Pretty weird glitch there. And that's that. Just to prove a point, you can do this room if you have the cojones. By the way, cojones like having balls to just take a chance. You know what I mean? If you wipe, you wipe. You know what? Start all over again. It's okay. The game is not going nowhere. So now we are going to the boss. People tend to stay on the column. I do the same thing. The only time I like going to that column is when I'm fighting Sabathon. This is also where you'll see me take quite a few deaths because I make some really dumb mistakes. Again, I didn't do like a quick run on practice. I just did this as a first run, and you know, happy everything worked out like how I wanted to work out, but I wish I was a little bit smarter in some of the choices I made, and you'll see that somewhat kind of obvious to not make. But this is how we learn, right? So my second time around, I actually did a lot better. But I wanted to showcase the very first video I did going in with this build of my Gifted Conviction. You'll also see Dragonfly join in, and Rises actually stays back. You know, they played it smart. We didn't wipe because there were opportunities where we could have wiped, you know, in certain situations. But Rises stayed back, held from a distance, so that if we ended up in a spicy situation, which I did, and so did Delta, he was there to sort of keep the game going and recover us. I'm gonna now let the video play so you can see all the action, and I'll be back on the build section. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, shout out to Delta Dragonfly and Rises 9070 for sometimes having the cojones to come in there and join in on the fun with me and take that chance. Now let's talk about the build real quick. And like I said, very much similar to my last build. If you haven't seen that, it's on my channel for the Hellas Basin GM Nightfall. Now let's go ahead and give my commendations, because I always give commendations and you guys should too, right? Because we're here to help each other out, you know what I mean? And as you see here, here's my score: 102,051, 126 orbs created. Thank you, Attrition Orbs. Thank you very much. And that's what actually helped me survive throughout a lot of the encounters. So here is the build: Gifted Conviction, Velocity Baton, Demolitionist, Attrition Orbs. I also have another one with Under, Over, and Destabilizing rounds, which actually worked out really well in a separate run. Here is actually a clip of Baton with Destabilizing rounds and Under, Over. As you see, I activate Volatile, just explosions going on there, especially with the artifact. I think that this and the Attrition Orbs one with the Demolitionist are the two ones that you should have in your vault. I personally think they are two of the best grenade launchers in the game currently, and I just don't see any other ones really topping it, like the amount of work these two do. Salvation's Grip without the catalyst. Again, Hung Jury, Kinetic Tremors, Shoot to Loot, Absolute Beast, and a must for high-end content. Here are my mods, real simple, nothing too crazy. Obviously, you want to have mobility and resistance as the highest you can. Resistance being number 1, mobility being number 2, and discipline being number 3. Again, here is the build, pretty much similar to the last build. Facet of Balance, replace my Facet of Dominance. I wanted to get my energy back for my abilities faster, so this worked out perfectly, but you can still do Facet of Dominance if you want. Facet of Purpose, Facet of Protection, Facet of Hope, and Facet of Mendon. Ascension, obviously, Stylish Executioner, Arc Bolt, Threading, like everything is pretty much the same like my build, for the exception of that one fragment. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. And like my beautiful goddaughter loves to say,
like and subscribe.
Until the next one, keep on gaming.